Hi friends, welcome back to For the Love of Reading with me, Justin. You caught me right before bed. I've got my fluffy pillow, my warm pajamas, my soft blankie, my bat friend to keep me company, and a warm cup of milk for after I finish this video so that I can get tired and ready for bed. Some people were asking me, Justin, why do you like books so much? Why do you love books? Why do you like to read books for other people? And it all goes back to my mom and my dad. Almost every single night, they would come and tuck me into bed and read me a story. And during that time, I heard about new adventures, and I met new character friends, and most importantly, I got to spend time with my mom and my dad, doing something that we all loved, which is reading. Well, one of the books that Mom used to read the very most was Ferdinand. I love the story of Ferdinand. I love that Ferdinand stays true to who he is, always and forever. I love the pictures in the book. I love the idea of being far off in Spain, which when I was a kid, I thought I would never go to. I love the story. Even more than the story, I love remembering those times with Mom, where she would tuck me into bed. And at that time, I didn't have my bat friend, but I had lots of teddy bears. And she would hand me my teddy bear, and she would read me a story. And I love that special time together. Well, right now, it is my pleasure to read Ferdinand for you. And I hope that you would enjoy it as much as I have over these years. Let's listen together in 3, 2, 1, go. Hi readers, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all of your friends and family. And now, The Story of Ferdinand by Monroe Leaf, drawings by Robert Lawson. Once upon a time in Spain, there was a little bull, and his name was Ferdinand. All the other little bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together. But not Ferdinand. He liked to sit just quietly and smell the flowers. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under a cork tree. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in its shade all day and smell the flowers. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself. "Why don't you run and play with the other little bulls and skip and butt your head?" she would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. "I like it better here, where I can sit just quietly and smell the flowers." His mother saw that he was not lonesome, and because she was an understanding mother, even though she was a cow, she let him just sit there and be happy. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very big and strong. All the other bulls who had grown up with him in the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other and stick each other with their horns. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at the bullfights in Madrid. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to sit just quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. One day, 5 men came in very funny hats to pick the biggest, fastest, roughest bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid.
All the other bulls ran around, snorting and butting, leaping and jumping, so the men would think that they were very, very strong and fierce and pick them. Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him, and he didn't care. So he went out to his favorite cork tree to sit down. He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on the nice cool grass in the shade, he sat on a bumblebee. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? You would sting him, and that is just what this bee did to Ferdinand. Wow! Did it hurt? Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. He ran around, puffing and snorting, butting and pawing the ground as if he were crazy. The 5 men saw him, and they all shouted with joy. Here was the largest and fiercest bull of all, just the one for the bullfights in Madrid. So they took him away for the bullfight day in a cart. What a day it was! Flags were flying, bands were playing, and all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. They had a parade into the bull ring. First came the banderilleros with long, sharp pins with ribbons in them to stick in the bull and make him mad. Next came the picadores, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull and make him madder. Then came the matador, the proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome and bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword and was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Then came the bull. And you know who that was, don't you? Ferdinand. They called him Ferdinand the Fierce, and all the banderilleros were afraid of him, and the picadores were afraid of him, and the matador was scared stiff. Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted and clapped because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick his horns around. But not Ferdinand. When he got to the middle of the ring, he saw the flowers in all the lovely ladies' hair, and he just sat down quietly and smelled. He wouldn't fight and be fierce, no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled. And the banderilleros were mad, and the picadores were madder, and the matador was so mad he cried because he couldn't show off with his cape and sword. So they had to take Ferdinand home. And for all I know, he is sitting there still, under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers, just quietly. He is very happy. The end.
That story makes me so happy. I love the idea that Ferdinand loves sitting and smelling the flowers. It's wonderful. I wanted to take just a moment to talk to you about something new that is going to be happening with the channel. Starting this Thursday, so today is Monday, or Tuesday, or Wednesday, whenever you're listening to it, but on Thursday, I'm going to start releasing a second book each week. and it's going to be a sleepy time book. It won't have me, you won't see me on these videos. It will just be the book and some quiet, calm, relaxing music. And I hope that it inspires you to love reading as you go off to dream your sweet dreams. So please look for that each Thursday. As always, if you have any book recommendations, please put that in the comments below. I love that my list is growing and growing. Please give me your book recommendations. Well, it is time for me. Excuse me. It is time for me to go to sleep. But I'm going to go get a book first. You go get a good book, and we'll sit down and enjoy for the love of reading. See you next time.